Hello all, once again, I'm Andrew Dunlap, here to talk to you about the biggest names in Muskie sports. This week, we double down as we talk to Liz Mitchell and Morgan Price, co-captains of the women's soccer team, as they take a look back at their 4-year career. I'm here with this week's guests. From right to left, we got Morgan Price and Liz Mitchell, both co-captains of this and seniors for the women's soccer team. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Morgan, let's just start with you.
Okay.
Looking at your how you stack statistically from what I gathered on the websites. You've always found yourself in the starting role whenever you were on the field, from freshman to senior year, haven't you?
Yes.
Can you go into a little more detail about how you got some of the things you did some of the things you did in the that required you to be at that position?
Growing up, I was always in say soccer and different teams outside of high school. And then once I got into high school, it kind of helped me get on that level that I needed to be able to start throughout my 4 years. I had an older sister, and she always pushed me too. She played soccer as well. And then so coming here, I just meshed really well with the team, and I found myself lucky enough to start as a freshman, and I just stayed with it.
Okay. Now, Liz, you obviously the toughest position in any sport. You can debate on it is a goalie in soccer or maybe even hockey, but being one of the leaders in the Muskies defense, what are the challenges you usually face?
Personally, it's probably just positioning, knowing where to be at the right time, and keeping your composure, definitely. But also there's commanding the field. You have to have patience and a complete understanding of what's going on at all times in the game. So it's just a lot going on at one time, having to control yourself and letting your defense know what's going on so they know where to be too.
So you're able to keep you try to not only be prepared for what the offensive players are doing, but you also instruct your defenders to how to best counteract them.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot going on at one time in the game, so my job is basically to let everybody else be aware in case there's something that they don't see, since I have the full view of the field more than anybody else.
Okay, now when I talk to both of you, you guys are both you girls are both seniors. And how would you say the feel of the overall team has changed over the years?
Well, for me, our first 2 years we came into a pretty good program. We broke some winning records our first 2 years. And last year we had a little bit of a downfall. We had a lot of injuries, so it was a little rough. And then this year we're, back at it, and we've progressed. But I think the biggest thing, and I think Morgan will agree, is we have a really good team chemistry. Mm-hmm. So I think that helps a lot. It's more like a family.
That's the one thing that doesn't change. Doesn't matter if we're winning or losing, it's always a togetherness that we have, and that's really special.
Okay. So, now Morgan, you find yourself you're at the midfield position. You're one of the generals. Probably one of the main general positions out there on the field. You play a little bit of defense. You play a little bit of offense. I asked Liz a little bit earlier about the keys to defense. But how does one alternate between going from playing offense or come back and help on the defense?
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Sometimes you'll find yourself, running back and forth, and then you just really got to stop and think of where you need to be on the field that's most beneficial, because the midfield is where you go through the midfield to make plays. So I've always been a passer, And so it's hard because I'm more of an attack-minded person. So I always have to get back on defense and stuff like that. And it is tiring, but you just got to know like where you're supposed to be at the right time.
Okay. And I would assume, since Liz earlier said she helped coordinate some of the defenders on the backside. She also communicate with you to help back there?
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard though because I'm a little bit further up, so I can't really hear her and she can't really hear me. But she usually talks to more like the defensive line, and I help like coordinate the middle and talk up front, so to get the attack going, and she tries to like get it out of our defensive.
Okay. Now, Liz, I also took a look at some statistics you had over the past 4 years, and reading them off: 2013, 36 saves; 2014, 74 saves; 2015, 99 saves. This season alone, you're starting to get you're over 110 saves so far. You found yourself improving every year every time you go on the field.
Yeah, freshman year I didn't end up starting until the last 3 games of the season, so I got some playing time, but not a lot. There was a senior goalkeeper ahead of me, but then my sophomore year I really broke through and was able to play a lot more. Junior year last year, it was a little rough. I ended up with a concussion halfway through the season, so I was out a few games, so that put me back. And then this year I've started every game, and have racked up quite a few saves. So
Yeah. Would you contribute to the success you're to the chat? Would you contribute that success to that from how much how much you're active out there, or you got, what's the best way to put it? You got how you guys find how you maybe you find yourself in a corner, backed in that corner several times, this season.
I've definitely, I mean, the experience helps, and we're kind of a young team, so I do get a lot of opportunities to get and make the saves. I mean, the past few years have been, I guess, off and on with our defense. I guess some has gotten through, some hasn't. So it's really a hit or miss. This year, it's remarkable because we have the opportunities to do well, but just things slip through. So
Okay, yeah, you guys. You both have how long have you? I assume you guys are just captains starting this year, like first time you ever been captains.
I was captain last year as well.
Okay, but so how would you two say you've improved? What you've learned from being a captain on the team?
Well, for me, being my first year as a captain for Muskingum is definitely leadership. You have to be patient. Being in my position as a goalkeeper, I have some leadership qualities already, but to lead the entire team is, a completely different story. But it's just, you always have to be a role model. The girls look up to you, even if, sometimes I don't even realize that it's happening, but they do look up to you and they listen to you. So, you can't.
It's definitely a huge responsibility.
You can't
to take
really get mad, or you have to take things a certain way and, know how they're feeling. So it's definitely, you have to look at things through their shoes to really understand how they're feeling and go about things.
You definitely have to be like a neutral, like you have to be stern enough to actually get things done and on the field and make things happen, but also you're their friend, so there's a balance.
Okay. I also want to ask you to, like, since you've also been on the team for 4 years, how would you describe the journey of what you've been through so far together?
Well, Morgan and I have been, really good friends for 4 years, and through the past 4 years, I'd say it's been a little rocky at times, but for the most part, like we said before, it's very tight-knit team and family-like. So even if we are having, a down time or a down season altogether, it's really nice to have your teammates to have your back, because, even if it is a little downfall, they really pick you up and everybody kind of sticks together.
Yeah,
So.
it's still enjoyable no matter what.
Okay. Now, Morgan, when I looked at your statistics from the last 4 years, they've been pretty same level. In freshman year, you had 11 points. Sophomore year, you had 11. Junior year, you kind of hiccuped with 6. Now you're coming back with 8. Yeah. All in all, you statistically you've been you're keeping your own pace. But how would you say you've improved in over the 4 years?
I've definitely been more assertive with the ball. So before, like as a freshman coming in, you're kind of nervous, and when you get the ball, you kind of just want to make a play and pass it to someone else, so that way they can go. But this year, I feel like I'm coming into my own, and I'm kind of taking on defenders and stuff myself, and working with my teammates to get things done, and it's a good feeling. A lot better than freshman year.
Okay, and now finally from you two is like you guys are a really young you girls are a really young squad. You got sophomore and freshmen like Autumn Devine, Emily Fisher, Emily Wiley, Rachel Waite. That's been getting a lot of contribution from this year. One of the big questions will probably be looking forward to what comes after you two. Do you think this team has the potential to get back to the same level that you two mentioned at the like the first 2 years you were here?
I definitely think so. Like Autumn, she is great with the ball. She knows where to be and what to do with it. I mean, she has so much help, and I mean, obviously, there's little things that we have to fix, and hopefully next year they'll get some freshmen to also contribute to that factor. But besides that, yeah, I believe that they can do it.
Yeah, I agree. And then Fisher's also an offensive player along with Autumn, and both of them actually are, young players, so they have a lot of progressing to do. But if they stick with it, they'll definitely get to where they need to be to help the team. And then Emily and Rachel are actually on my defensive line most of the time, and they are just their go-to power players. They're trustworthy. I really wouldn't want anybody else on my back line, so it says a lot about them, and I know that they know that I think highly of them. But yeah, they push through and they really compete, so if they keep it up and keep doing what they're doing, then they will definitely have a solid team.
All right, and that's all the questions I have. Thank you all for joining us. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Open Media TV, or you can check out all of our other social medias. We're on Twitter, we're also even on Snapchat. So see you all later and enjoy.